Hello, my U-Turn family. Welcome to the U-Turn Show. If you are new, this is a platform for empowering our communities through impactful conversations, real life stories, and resources for youth and women. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather here to spotlight voices that challenge limits and those that reminds us that real change begins the moment we choose to turn in a new direction, to make a U-turn. So, if you are navigating change in your life, looking for clarity, or building the next big thing, you belong here. So, share this conversation and stick with us as we begin the real talk, real growth, real U turn. Real talk, real growth, real U turn. And we're really joined by engineer, lecturer, researcher, Thon Malek, who you all know every month is with us here to guide us through this real tough conversation that force us we reflect on ourselves and to really change our mindset towards positive growth, toward that journey that we all want to go. So, without further ado, and we engineer Thonaba, welcome. We're not introduced for 1 second, and Onkoji Dir, who are joining the U10 platform. And we dive into the real conversation. We'll be using English, so I'm mixing it a little bit just to welcome our new folks who might not be, English speakers. But today we'll be using English. There might be some words in different languages, but our main uh, language of discussion today is English. So welcome, engineer. Kindly introduce yourself. And for those that are joining in the chat, let us know where you are tuning in from, what you are excited about the topic, and what you want to hear more. Please share your questions. Engineer, take it away.
All right, thank you, Paul Philip. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here at UTAN again. As earlier introduced, I'm Engineer Thon Malek, mainly an academic in Upper Nile University and supporting University of Juba. I'm also serving in the middle management of the university as head of Department of Computer Science and a little bit of business as running the Community Computing Academy and much more on the motivation on how constructive ideas and occasionally on SSBC on Tuesday and Thursday. That's about me. Back to your call, Philip.
And thank you for sharing this space with us. The work you are doing is changing mindset, it's changing life. And today, topic moving from average to exceptional, what it takes. What separates ordinary life from extraordinary. This is a timely discussion. We all want to be extraordinary. Myself, I want to be one. So I am very keen to hear from you. What does living exceptional life truly mean to you? And how is it different from this common word of being successful?
All right, thank you, Paul, and thank you, Utown family, and those who are listening. Yes, the meaning of being exceptional. We are looking at a word mediocrity and average, and at the same time focusing on being exceptional. What is average? If you look at it globally, you find that a lot more things is done on average. If you go to a university, you find that this is what you need to graduate. In the scale of 4, if you get 2.0, this you are okay to graduate. If you go to, let's say, at a higher level of academia, you find that the university, master's, PhD, you need these papers to graduate. Men level at PhD level say 2. You just need 2 to graduate minimum. So almost everywhere there is that minimum that has been set. This is what you need to pass. This is what you need to be called good person in a society. This is what you need to have a reasonable life. So mainly at the global level, that there is a minimum that has been set. And so majority choose to settle on minimum. That is average. But what is that being exceptional? We go back as far as purpose is concerned, and the origin of human. We all believe that a human being was created in the image of God, And so God has a purpose for creating this human being. So, and if you have to anchor it on a biblical basis, there's one verse that I like in Proverbs 22, verse 29, that have you seen a man who is so good at his work? He will stand before kings, but not before common men. So there is a level of difference here based on what you know will actually what you know what you do will determine the podium or the people will speak to. There is speaking before kings and there is speaking before common men. The same version, the same person, but different versions. There is a time you will spend all your life speaking before common men, but when you do more, speak before kings. So this is what I'm bringing forward as far as average is concerned. God did not create anyone to be average. God really requires, God desires excellence. Somebody who is created in the image of God, that there is somebody, God who created me, the creator of the universe, and has created me in his image. So meaning that I can reflect that level of excellence, isn't it? So as far as creator is concerned, everyone is created in the image of God with the power to be exceptionally good. Then I will just come to what you are saying, Paul Philip. There is something that has also misled, especially in this sphere of people trying to have whatever they want to do in the area of composition. We have this word that is called best. Best is the reason as to why majority also settle on mediocrity. Best has never been excellence. Is it? Take an example. There is always the best in a class, isn't it? There is always the best in a class. There is always the best in a class, isn't it? Yes. Even if that student, even if the person gets 23 out of 100%, that is the best, isn't it? So, in a world where people are focused on best, it is just to say that as long as I see many people behind me, I'm okay. That one is also responsible for the reason as to why many people have not really maximized the potential, the inbuilt ability that God has given them. You look at your life in terms of how many people are poorer than you. If you see yourself in a society, you get $1,000 and everyone looks at you as a tycoon, you settle there. So that best is one of the things that, as somebody who wants to succeed, you really need to do away with the best. Because the problem with the best, anything that is the best, because it's just from this good, better, and the best, isn't it? Even in F9, the entire class can even get D, and there's the best in D. So there is best in every grade. So meaning that best has never been the right description of something that a human can accomplish. And that is why there is this good reason to be aiming at excellence. Yes. This person who gets 49 out of 100 and the rest are following, this person is the best. But excellence is a different level. So look at it, all this composition and bring it. What is it being exceptional and which one is called being a mediocre? Yes, when you look at a mediocre is not kind of a bad person as such. This is the person who has decided to create headquarters in the journey. There's a destination, but as you move from one place to another, instead of aiming toward the final destination, you begin to create some headquarters just alongside. When we talk about mediocre, they are not necessarily those bad people who have not done. No, once they have some level of achievement, accomplishment, they settle on that, isn't it? And remember, success is a very long and constructive journey with a lot of lessons and a lot of milestones. But instead of settling on that, you begin to say, "This is where I have arrived. This is a milestone within my success journey, where I can drive. What is it that I should do better? What level of knowledge should I have? What level of networking should I have? And all that. What is it that this environment is teaching me?" But mediocre will simply ask, "How much? What do I need to accomplish this?" They simply tell you, for you to graduate, you need two out of four. Then we'll simply be aiming at that. isn't it? What do I need? What do I need to be successful in terms of sending my children to school, to pay rent, and do that? So you look at life in terms of the bare minimum. But to be exceptional in this case is simply to say, yes, this is where I am today, but I can do better than this, isn't it? I can do better than this. There is something in me that tells me that I should be better than I am today. Where I am today is simply a combination of the tools. These are the results of the tools I've used in the past. Because where we are today is just simply the result of the knowledge, the surrounding environment, and all that we have had in the past. That is what has brought us today. Meaning that we can simply go ahead and also redesign this environment to push us to the next level. And for those who have done exceptionally good, now they define themselves in terms of how have they impacted people. Because being exceptional does not mean that you have to grade yourself in terms of how much do you have to yourself, but how much has your date of birth contributed to other people's lives. And that's why I always say that even the children, I'm always even at home now, I don't actually focus on celebrating the birthdays of my children, because what have they done? Whose life have they impacted? Just being born is not enough. Actually, if they should be celebrating, they should be celebrating my birthday, because they will simply say, this is somebody who has been born and is now a lecturer, is impacting the lives of others. Being present is not enough when you are not impacting life through time. So being exceptional simply means how whatever you have acquired, whether it's knowledge or some level of intellectual composition, how has that life impacted somebody who can say that I am happy because Luca was born? We are very happy that Akwal Philip was born. Somebody has to say that God, thank you that somebody was really has life, and because of this life, I'm transformed. To be an exceptional simply means, even with all the level of accomplishment, there must be a reflection in the lives of others. And then a purpose driven. There is this verse that says that all our plans in man's heart, but only God's purpose will prevail. There is a reason as to why God is making us to exist. We must accomplish something. Purpose driven life simply means, okay, all this I've done, am I living my life purpose? Is it the reason as to why I exist? Or is it that I'm simply just a lion in the water sources, and I'm just simply living my life
Wow, wow, wow. I don't know, look at what you are feeling right now. And Dorcas, engineer, welcome back.
Yet lion was not created to live in the waters. So if lion now fits itself to live in the waters now, it will just be uncomfortable leader who should rightly be in the forest. So meaning that everybody is supposed to be living a life that says, this is, yes, this is who I love myself to be. And that's why I always say, if you need to know clearly that some people will always ask, how do I know what I'm good at? How do I know my life purpose? I always tell them, put yourself to a world where there is no fame and there is no money. You will get to know who you are. Because there are only these two things which are bringing a lot of confusion: fame and money. Somebody will take a career because people are respected in that career. Somebody will take a career because I've seen somebody making money in that career. There it is very difficult for you to know yourself. But if you remove money and you remove fame and say we are simply in the world where we just exist to do what you love, what would you do? You really find that all the farmers, those who are busy farming now, those who are busy in agriculture, they are supposed to be lawyers, and some lawyers are supposed to be teachers, and some teachers are supposed to be doctors, and all that, just because of this world where success has just been painted in different colors, and so many people will get attracted to that. Being exceptional is to live the life that really it is purpose driven life. You say simply, I am happy who I am. Like, for example, if today the president of the country begins to put along your way, seems to say, Akwal Philip, yes, let's say my daughter, please, can you take over from here? And will also take Luca. It will not take around 100 people. Okay, in the 100 people will be asking, so many people will take presidential position. Why? Because majority do not know the purpose. People only think that your purpose is just any higher position. That's not the case. I am happy who I am as a motivational speaker, as a lecturer. I contribute to society in who I am. But you really see somebody will really confine himself in a protocol just because he loves whatever that it is done there. So when you do not like purpose, anything is good enough. If you don't have life purpose, anything is good enough. You can even throw yourself in an environment where you have 25 bodyguards and you don't know why should I be heavily guarded as still why? Mine, I don't need this. What I simply need is just to come and meet with Paul, Philip, and Luke, and the rest of the friends, and we share ideas. That's what I need. So now, put me in an environment whereby a protocol will decide what I should do. The security will decide where I should go. It is good for those whose life purpose is in that line. But if your life purpose is to develop healthful societies, then that is what you should be doing. Somebody's life purpose is to be somebody who is a business driven, to impact people's lives through the business initiatives. Somebody is in academia, somebody is providing security, somebody is supporting the food system through agriculture. So being life, let's say, purpose driven, that is what is considered to be exceptional. There are people when you come to them at their deathbed and ask them, did you leave? They will some people will be so disappointed, not because they don't have houses, not because they have never been respected, but they have seen that they were actually lions busy swimming in the rivers. Yet in their inner system, it simply tells them that no, please, you are a rightful king in the forest, but status, V8, titles will simply tell you and all that no, you have to be here. This is where people are highly respected. This is that, this is that, this is that. But in you, simply tell no, I just love to teach people. I just love to do that and do that. So being an exceptional is let's say, living life driven. And the rest that have actually discussed, it is not necessarily measured in terms of money, because money is not a unit of success, and that is where things can go wrong. There are people inside them, they know that they are not happy with the life they are living, isn't it? But if you are living a fake life, it means that you are actually acting. And you can act anything, but the worst thing to be the actor of your life, that would be the worst thing. So that's what I would say as far as the parameters of mediocrity and living an exceptional life is concerned. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much for that definition. Very simple, but really impactful, inspiring. That being, purpose driven, living a purpose driven life is what it means living exceptional life. If your purpose is to make people laugh, you are a comedian. That is, you are actually exceptional in that field.
Sure,
You don't need to
sure.
be like a big person driving V8. That's what I've learned, or making millions of money, or via Elon Musk, or a trillion, or you are going to the Mars. To be really exceptional is you living your, maximum full potential. That's what I'm hearing, and I am really inspired. I know that is what you are hearing in the comment section. I know that's what you are hearing, Luca and Dorcas, on the screen. And I'll give you opportunity to contribute to the conversation in a bit. But I want to go deeper to the next question, engineer. Thank you so much. The next question now brings back to our young people. Young people who are part of the U10 family, who are outside the U10, that are in the journey of making U10 to this platform. What are some of the common comfort zones where these people struggle to live? They know some inside them maybe they have potential, but there is a place where they are locked inside. So it's hard to break out from that comfort zone to actually live the exceptional life, the purpose driven life that you are explaining to us. What are some of the challenges in our current modern life that is really keeping young people from living that exceptional life you describe?
Yeah, thank you, Uncle Philip. There are so many, but what I could just look at is one of the things, just fear of failure. Human being is there's this element of risk analysis, where you feel that where you have arrived at, that is the place you are familiar with. And so moving to the next level becomes a challenge. You know, people fear uncertainty. If I begin to live where I am now, I think the next level will not be better. So human being begins to design that environment where wherever you have arrived seems to be the best position ever. And that's why even some people would simply say, if I leave this job, my life will be ruined, isn't it? That is how some of the comfort zone will. So some of the initiatives which will actually work as far as the nation is concerned, you will impact a lot of lives. So something tells you that if I leave this paycheck, my life will not be better. So fear of failure is one of the things that is actually keeping many behind. And failure, it has been given bad name, isn't it? Failure has been renamed in a society as some bad guy, isn't it? Failure has been seen as an enemy, that success is somewhere and there is something failure somewhere. There's nothing like that. Failure is part of success. And that's why you will never mention any child who started walking straight away without falling. That those subsequent falling, series of falling now, that has actually perfected the path. That's why you see children every time they are falling, the parents know that is normal. It is okay to what? It is okay to fail, isn't it? You can be falling this time and then you come up again. So when we understand failure is actually even teaching more than even what we consider. So when we see success alone, then there is a problem. Why would we say failure is very important? Because success is simply a recognition of whatever that you have been doing, is a recognition of what the tools you have been using, the level of knowledge you have been acquiring, the people you have been surrounding yourself with, the environment you have been staying in, and all these four factors plus others. All these ones here, as you engage with them, there are corners you are not clear about them. So some of them, sometimes they can surprise you, isn't it? Some tools are not working, some tools are not timely, and all that. So as you audit that process, you get to know, why is it not working the way it is working? When should it work the way it is working? What level of knowledge do I need to combine with what I know so that I move to the next level? And you cannot just guarantee a tarmac road on that side. You can fail a lot, isn't it? And so looking at that, people begin to look at failure as a bad thing. Failure is something that has just come from the devil. That somebody has to pray so that God does not make you fail. No, that's not the work of God, isn't it? Because remember, as David was in the forest, David was not praying not to be attacked by the bears and the lions. David was asking God to protect him, isn't it? During failure, you gain some mastery. Because if you look at David fighting with Goliath, it was not just a one-day thing just to pick a stone and then you just hit somebody's forehead. That's not possible. He had trained how to use some of those tools, even how to choose. And you use some of those tools. As you use them, at times you will not, you might not get them right. Ask our brothers who are playing NBA. Is it the first time for them to go for international tournaments and they just throw it inside and then people are clapping? You try and go there. They went through a lot of thousands of losses, but through those losses, they began to know why things work the way they work, isn't it? And so if we view failure positively and say, failure, you actually teaching me something. You are telling me what I don't know. You are telling me that this is a good tool, but I'm not using it rightly. You are telling me that this is a good tool, but I should use it with another person who's better than me. You are telling me that this is a good tool, but the knowledge that I'm using, which I'm using to use the tool, is wrong. Sometimes you could be having right tools. If you are encountered by a lion and you have a gun and you don't know how to use it, you will simply be eaten by the lion. Not because the tool is wrong, not because the gun is not working, but you don't know how to use it. So fear of failure is the reason as to why many settle there. And to some extent, by extension, some think that failure is a bad thing. And so once we dissociate ourselves from failure now, we actually don't pursue our life purpose, because we simply look as, now if I go this way I will fail. But we don't look at it that if I go this way, I will fail, and if I fail I will know why I failed, and then I will actually work on it, isn't it? And the next one is social approval. We look at things in terms of what does the community say about it. What does the community say about it? I want to do this. Do people like it? For instance, I talked to a gentleman who wanted to set up a coffin industry. So he said, no, but people don't like my business. I just love to be doing that business of coffins and all that. So community seems to say, no, no, why should you engage in coffins? Because coffins are attributed to death. But no, coffins are not connected to death in any way, isn't it? Yes, because coffins do not dictate death, isn't it? They are actually a solution after death. So I told him, please, if this is what you want to do, simply do it. So many have failed to develop, to pursue whatever they wanted to do, that actually in their inner voices are telling them, this is who you are, this is what you should be doing. But social approval comes and says, no, this is not good. I know one of them who said he wanted to go, he scored highly in the secondary school examination, and he was asking me, he said he wanted to go for teaching, he wanted to go for education, but around the same say, no, what is it that the teachers are gaining? Isn't it? So they see that for you to be a teacher, you could be having some social status, low social status. So when we look at our careers, what we will pursue in the lenses of how communities approve them, and then that's why some people begin to go for what communities have approved. And so in that case, when they go to where the community has approved, they will do it to the bare minimum, because there is no motivation, there is no self-discipline, there is no passion, there is not that sense of direction. They are just doing it anyway. That's why you see some now, you will find somebody has done a course anyway. And so he will simply focus on what will make him to graduate or her, because mommy needs it, daddy needs it, my elder brother needs it, and we'll settle on that. Because there is this sense of when things get tough, it is a self-discipline that tells you move on. It is not about motivation, because there's a level where motivation stops working, and it is only self-discipline that begins to work, isn't it? And then the direction begins to tell you that this is where you should be going. So social approval, social status is one of the reasons as to why people have decided to settle on this. If I go this direction, for example, you say you want to be a motivational speaker, and people say, who has ever been motivational speaker? I remember when I began to talk about this in 2011, people said, but who does it? Where do people do it? You want to be a politician? I said, no, I don't want to be a politician. What is it? You want to be an MC? Some people began to, because they want to approve that I should do that. I simply say, okay, yes, there are cases where if the approval is limiting you, it is better you take over and approve yourself. Because time will come, those who did not approve you will now approve you when you are actually doing what you should be doing. So social approval is one of the reasons as to why. And also routine security. Our brains, they have some level of mechanism where once we have done something, and then we settle on that, and then we have some level of kind of predictable habits, that this is now, if I do this, it will be good for me. And those one actually, they're actually hindering our potential. And so many even settle at that level because of those of failure and social approval and whatever it is. When God had actually designed you to be where you are, it is highly possible for an eagle to just fly, because without the purpose, function can mislead. The work of engineer is not just to build things.
Engineer actually froze, but I hope you are getting all the insight. Okay, engineer is back.
Yes. So when I emphasize a lot more on purpose, because Purpose is what determines the function. But if you choose to settle on the function, a lot of things will get messed. And that's why an ego can even fly at the lower level like other birds. Because if it is about wings, the functions of the wing can do whatever they can do. But purpose can even tell you do more than that. When it is stormy, go and do more trainings because your purpose tells you, yeah, those storms were not meant to destroy you. They were not meant to hinder you. They were actually meant to train you. So purpose will always do the work. But what has always done that? The fear of failure, social approval, and all that, and so many other factors have always hindered. And so many people who should be very global, impacting people have ended up in counties. They fear the consequences of the next level. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. And first of all, thank you, engineer, for approving yourself to be a motivational speaker. When people,
Thank you.
disapprove you, when the society disapprove you, what if you had accepted their disapproval and you end up not pursuing that purpose? Right now, you will not be blessing us here on the U10 platform.
Thank you.
So
Thank
it's
you.
a message to all of us. And even myself, when I started being online, I was disapproved. I mean, they said, Rhoda, you become online comedian. You went on to Canada, you went to school, and now you are just entertaining people online. I say, you know what? You disapprove me, but my if my education take me away from my life purpose, then there was no point. I cannot just say that now I have degree. I cannot go online and talk things that affect ordinary people in my community. I cannot talk about challenges that have touched people's life. So I can be, a comedian, and that comedy with few people that align with in this vision. Now we have a platform where we are continuing to positively impact people, do comedy, but also do mindset shift. So thank you so much. You actually validate that, and many of you are in the comment section. You can relate your story where you are discouraged. Your purpose is something different, and the people it's something that is within you that other people can't see because God gave that purpose to you and you alone. It's you who think about it, it's you who feel about it, it's you who who God has given that purpose. And you cannot expect people to see it. You cannot expect people to believe you. But as engineer said, when you persist and do whatever that God has given you, put it out there in whatever form it is, eventually people will appreciate and they will actually recognize that you are living an exceptional life. So I just wanted to add that. And I know many people will be sharing their perspective later on. So if you have, a time where you have something to do or something to share and you are discouraged and you accept it, maybe this is a lesson for you to, next time, don't be discouraged. If you have something, a dream you want to start a business, but people say, who has ever in your family become a successful businessman or woman? Then now you have to think, you don't have to be, if nobody has done it before, that does not mean you cannot do it. So that is a takeaway for me. I'm really grateful. But there's something about that self doubt. When people discourage you, engineer, you start to doubt yourself. And many of us, have this self doubt, not because we don't want to live our purpose or don't want to live our, life exceptionally, but when you are surrounded by people who are mediocre, just to say, who just want to live the bare minimum, they kind of, and you want to be different, but your surrounding is telling you, you cannot do it. Who has ever done it? You, like people start telling you things, then you start doubting yourself. So how can someone who has been discouraged for a very long time, has built self-doubt, can overcome that? And start living, unleashing the potential to be exceptional from your experience, engineer.
All right. Thank you, Paul Philip. Thank you, Utan family. Yes, on this side of doubt, that is highly practical. Doubt starts a lot of things, a lot more things, but it becomes an habit. I remember one of my colleagues, even when he went to masters, he still felt that the demons from his community was following him. So he did not believe that really it would even go as far as saying that that in my community, no one has ever come to this level. So, do you know what I told him? I told him that, uh, uh, self doubt or whatever it is simply an institution where you subscribe. Doubt, you just subscribe to it. If you choose to subscribe to it, you can. And then it can even follow you. Regardless of level of accomplishment you make, there is that level, an habit that always tells you that this one here you will not make it, isn't it? So I told him that it's because not because demons are following you. I told him because you have come with demons, isn't it? There is a difference between being followed and choosing to come with, isn't it? Some have. So if we come to how we can work on some of these challenges, one of them is just to reframe our inner dialogue. How can we reframe our inner dialogue? There is something that is, I can't, I can't, I can't. This one is not possible. I cannot do. Begin to talk about what you can do, isn't it? Change from I can't to that I can do it. If there are challenges, how can I do it? Isn't it? You begin to have the statements which are actually telling you that there is a possibility of doing it. So when you begin to reframe your language, the inner you are building, you are sending some messages to your subconscious mind that you are somebody who's successful. Let me tell you this. If you go to an examination that is very complicated, you begin with a very simple definition. And then, as you do simple ones, you realize later that the rest of the answers begin to come because you are telling your subconscious mind that it is possible. I can do it. This is what I've reached so far. So, when you begin to reframe your inner dialogue, you can replace a lot of things I can't. We have failed this situation of this country and all that. So, and the brain works in a way, I read this power of subconscious mind. Brain works in a way that it works like a computer. Once you open the folder of I can't, you will always get other subfolders explaining to you the good reasons why you can't, isn't it? And once you go open the folder of I can do it, it is possible. There will be all the other reasons that will follow that you can do it, including the tools that you did not see. So you remove that inner dialogue of I can't. And that's even when God says, whatever you ask in the name of Jesus will be given to you. That is a positive attitude. When you say it is possible, then it is what? It is possible, isn't it? But when you always say, I cannot do it, this certificate of mine here, I've just finished high school, these days even degree here is not working, even here, some of the degrees we have studied, I met with some of my colleagues and they thought that I do what I do because of the degree that I've done. Degree alone is not a problem, isn't it? Yes. So people think that there are some careers which are not working well. This one will not work. Whenever you brand it that it will not work, surely it will not work. Human being has a power through the brain that even if you take that medicine that cures others and you don't believe in it, it will not work on you. And it is very simple that because you believed it is not working, and indeed it is not what? It is not, it cannot work for you. Replace all the in inner communication with the positivity. Yes, I can do it. And there's this good word that I love from Apostle Paul. He said, I can do all things through Jesus Christ who strengthens me. You see, that is very powerful. Yes. We have the and do you know when Paul was writing that epistle to the Philippians, he was going through a lot of persecution, was being all that, jailing and all that. But there's still that power. I can do all things, isn't it? So let us replace all the inner negativity. We can't, I will fail. This generation, we are not going to make it and all that. When I hear people who say that, I say, please don't use your limits to limit me. Don't do that. No, because we are not putting on the same sizes. And that's why I always disagree with this concept called uniform. There is nothing called uniform. Go to the military school and get someone who is extremely fat and say you want to put on that uniform. It will not fit on you. So when the color is the same does not mean there's uniformity. That's the difference. Even the sizes will make the difference, isn't it? Yes. So we will say there's this army uniform. You see, similarity in the color is never uniformity. So even if we are the same, we are in the same country, my friend, I can be different person. Yeah. So if you have your own limits, don't use your limits to limit me. No, don't do that, isn't it? Because we were created in an image of God that I can grow as far as I want. I'm of this height, not because someone has stepped on my head. There is still more. If I were to grow, I would grow as far as I could go. So reframing the inner dialogue, saying, I can do it, I can do. How can I do this? When there is a challenge, how can I? Your brain opens up that there is a way, only that you do not know. Then there is that pause. But whenever you say, I can't, you have actually opened the folder of failure. And always when you switch on that failure, then it will give you all the reasons. That's why you always see people having a lot of justifications why they have failed. Because after opening that failure folder, there are some folders explaining to you why you rightly fail. Why is it that you cannot do it? You know, a belief system is structured in that sense. Open the one that says I can do it, then you will even find the tools that you did not know. But if you open the folder that I can't, then there are subfolders who will give you the reasons why you can't. That is why it is always very good to say that it is possible. Yes, I can do it. If I don't know how to do it, the question I should ask, how can I do it? And that's why there's knowledge that will tell me how I can do it. There is mentorship. And there's so a lot more around me. So reframing the inner dialogue, discouraging this sense of saying, I can't do, I can do it. Yes. Yes, I don't know how to do it, but I know there is a way. Yes, because I have the will. The next one is small wins momentum. When if you want to cut the entire forest as your assignment, what will give you hope is just every tree that you successfully cut. So when you are in that valley where you think that wow, how can I pick up from here? Just begin with every tree that you cut. Yes, and then you will have the momentum. Momentum has to be structured in a way that do it by incremental percentages. Don't choose to transform the entire thing. If you say this year I want to transform my life, but let me begin on the side of reading books, isn't it? And I will simply be reading 15 minutes every day. You see, so if you choose to have one section as your headquarters, you begin to conquer the entire society, isn't it? The entire society of your life. Because after conquering some space now, you will begin to have the sense of winning, isn't it? And then you will have the energy to do more. So when you have the doubt, always concentrate on that small part, work on it, then now it will give you the energy to go on the other side. Because when you have consistent victory, then now actually you will be having a consistent journey. You will be winning every small part one by one. And that's why when you see students during graduation, it is not just only you don't go once and sit for an exam and you get a degree, isn't it? You just begin with every class you attend, every homework you do, every test you do, and all those successful accomplishments at every step now will lead to that eventual recognition at the end. And someone will say, finally, you have graduated. Every small section, begin to celebrate it, isn't it? It will give you an energy, say you are succeeding. And that's when this gentleman, this Gawande Atul, he wrote this book on Checklist Manifesto. Even when you have that checklist every day and you don't have that energy, begin with something very simple that you can do it. In my checklist, I can even have something as simple as uh, uh, 10 push-ups, as simple as that in my checklist, because you need a holistic approach to your life. As you choose to succeed, you choose to succeed including your health. So, and if you do that and then you come and tick it on your list, there is this part of the brain that tells us that the happiness kind of mechanism in the brain tells us that, yes, yes, you are going, isn't it? Once you are ticking this one, you tick this one, you tick this one, it encourages you that you are actually moving, isn't it? So small wins, momentum is one of the approaches that we can use to to work out these elements of. And then mentorship and support, very, very important to engage in mentorship and support, isn't it? Even this mentorship is a divine idea, and that's why when God Himself, Jesus said, "I will send you another what? Another person who is a helper, a counselor who will guide you through all truth," isn't it? It is not just simple that a human being you just float and go through Christian journey and then you know how to live life. There must be somebody who convicts you, tells you, no, this is this one. You should choose this and you should choose that. So if God Himself could ever consider mentorship as a divine approach, isn't it? To taking his children to heaven, even you, even me, we need mentorship. Because mentors, they actually reduce the number of potholes, isn't it? You can succeed even without a lot of mentors, but in the sense that the potholes that they fell into 20 years ago, you still fall into them again, isn't it? The tools that they eradicated, they knew that they were not working. Now you are still using them. The rest of the approaches. So mentors actually come, they don't change the direction because you have the life purpose, but they will tell you, yes, we tools can work and we tools should not, isn't it? They will actually even encourage you as everything has worn out. Everybody seems to say that this the direction you have chosen is not right. They will come and add to your inner voices to tell you that it is possible. Because when voices become more, every wrong decisions can be taken. And that's why what happened to Pilate? When the Pharisees and everyone say, crucify him. And then he said, why should I crucify him when I've not seen any fault in him? And then they went again and said, please crucify him. So there are a lot of voices of negativity around us. So it only takes mentorship and support for you always to listen to them and don't make a decision in their favor. And that is when you can have some mentorship. Even something that you see and read, sometimes you might not understand what it means if there are no mentors. And that's why there's this gentleman, I think around Acts 8:30, there was this Ethiopian eunuch who was reading the book of Prophet Isaiah. And he read the book, and then Philip came to him and asked, do you understand what you are reading? He said, how can I understand when no one has interpreted? Meaning that seeing is, let's say, looking is not seeing at all. There are principles that every time you come across, but no one has interpreted them to you. And so that's why even mentors are very important. They always tell you that you are worthy than what society think. You have value. The challenges you are facing are normal. Even the rest of the people whom you have seen to be exceptional and successful, they also went through that. And so you will always drive that energy because there is that environmental energy, the people around you. When so many voices are telling you that you can't, you need you need voices that will also join together with your inner voices telling you that you don't need societal approval to pursue your life-driven purpose. Because it is only God that knows why you exist, isn't it? And there is something that only God that you will really report to at the end, that God, the life you have given me, this is how I've done it. No one in any community, including our family members, isn't it? Yes, it is only God. And so we need mentorship and support. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Mentorship and support to deal with so many naysayers that surround all of us. You know what? This question is very important to me and very personal because, like 3 weeks ago, when I was in Ghana, Edlin York is here. I met with, brilliant Kwame Nkrumah University students, South Sudanese, and one of them actually asked me that very question. So your response today actually is very important, and I hope that person will be able to listen to this again and combine with what I told him and the group that I met. So he asked, how can you deal with negative people, who constantly discourage you or tell you negative things about that cause self-doubt? And what I told them was about mentorship. How people also that tell you positive things, people that pour positivity into you. you have to intentionally find them, right? No, and limit yourself from those who are always negative to you. You can limit yourself, but find more people who are pouring positivity into you to replace or to balance that. But I did say the two main things that you actually are today, and which I want everyone listening today to put into their toolkits. When someone tells them negativity, they can respond, twice to that person. One, that engineer said, which I like, you can just ignore them and talk to yourself, the scripture that whatever you say doesn't matter because I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. Like you have just canceled what they say, but you haven't told them. You are talking to yourself internally to just say whatever they say didn't get into me. Number two, you can actually be rude and respond to them and say, actually, don't let your limitation live in me. So by doing that, you actually start changing them to start thinking that what they were projecting to you is actually the only limitation. It has nothing to do with you, right? So if you want to be, to teach them something, you can respond to them. If you don't want to teach them something, just ignore them and say, you can do all things, you can do it, and look for opportunities and resources to help you do it. So thank you so much, and let's affirm that question in the comment part where it's a common thing. We all get discouragement from people, and now that's why we have this conversation to give us tools and assets that we can use to respond to those, that pull us back or that make us not live our life exceptionally. So the next one, before I open the table to the U10 members here to add their contribution, is that to to what extent do you think talent or luck play a role compared to consistent efforts and intentionality or intentional choices in the journey? You talk about different choices like mentorship, like self affirmation, like so many tools that can work. But sometimes you can apply all those tools and nothing works. So what are like how talent, luck, and choices and consistent effort, contribute to us living life exceptionally?
All right, thank you. Just picking up from that wonderful question that was very good one. And sometimes it looks like as if when you dissociate yourself from people, people think that you don't like people. No, but that is not the case, isn't it? It's just like if one of us is an ego and the other one is a lion and the other one is can I say crocodile or something like that. So you have different environment to thrive. So if we all say we love, one is an ego and one is a crocodile and one is a lion. Then the lion and an ego say, because we don't want to leave crocodile alone, let us go and be in the waters, isn't it? They will leave us very disappointed. You see, your environment has something to do with your life purpose. And that is why there's this woman I like from the Bible, Anna. She decided to take Samuel to the temple to where Eli was, isn't it? Because God is everywhere, but mentors are not everywhere. Environment is not everywhere. So when you begin to distance yourself from people, you are not moving away from people. You are creating an environment that supports the life purpose, why you exist, isn't it? If the only thing that the person knows is that I exist, that is highly very dangerous. It should go as far as why do I exist, isn't it? Then the next question you should ask, am I living or I'm going through life? So whichever, now if you are going through life, then there is a problem. But if you are living, then you will be asking the question: am I living as in conjunction to do? Am I living in relation to my life purpose? So, what extent does luck? Effort is very important because when it looks at effort and luck, effort outweighs luck because you will look at the talent and luck can open doors, isn't it? But now the fuel that makes it sustainable is an effort, isn't it? You have seen those who are very, very, very lucky, they got opportunities, but they don't have the fuel, which is an effort to make it sustainable, isn't it? And that's why you can begin with a luck for those who have had that opportunity to have that something which is a chance, an opportunity, isn't it? But what will make it to continue now is an effort. And it will go as far as luck is concerned. Luck, if you just look at it as a chance, I bring it as one of the items within the environment. Because if we go in details to luck, I always define and say, luck, I would even say there is nothing called luck. But when my understanding, I always simply say that one of the advantages people have, isn't it? If I have a call Philip in my network and then he gets an opportunity and then he refers to me, that I'm not lucky, isn't it? It's because I simply have a network, isn't it? So if you simply say, even when you throw a dice, you throw it down and then it turns the head or the tail, you are not lucky, you threw it, isn't it? Those who did not throw it, they did not have that. So I am just talking about luck in the context of how it is put, isn't it? But something called luck without anything, there is something that has worked somewhere, isn't it? But the result of that we do not understand, we call it what? We call it luck, isn't it? But there is always something at the background that has influenced all those factors to have that output. So, but let me talk in that context. Effort outweigh that luck. There are people who get an opportunity once, but when they lack an effort to sustain it now, it does not help. So luck can keep doors open. I mean, effort can keep the doors open. But now, what will open them at the beginning is that element of a chance, isn't it? And talent. You have really seen people with the talent, they will do wonders at once. But come 20 years later, they are different people. They have simply gone in history that this person had a lot of money. You say, what happened? Because when luck or chance or talent has actually also opened it, then when there's no effort to make it sustainably open, because it does not happen every day, isn't it? Yes. So that is what that's how I can talk about it on that side. Choices can shape destiny, because uh, the choices we make, they always influence a lot. But the challenge that I always see around here, even in my life, is which is a selection and which is a choice. If we don't know the difference there, it becomes a problem. You might end up going through life selecting, but you are not choosing. And that's when I talked to one of my colleagues and said, we said that multiple choice exam. Who chose? Is it the teacher who chose the questions, or the students who are choosing what was chosen? Then you realize that the one who actually chose is the teacher. Is the one who decided which options should be available. But now you come and simply what? Simply select. So selection is simply an event. But the choice is this process of weighing different alternatives and driving, meaning why should I take yes or no? And begin to know the reason behind yes or the reason behind no. Then now you begin to take that. So choices now will shape destiny. And that's when we make, let's say, for those who are heading towards being exceptional, they make daily decisions every day, isn't it? Because the difference within mediocrity in choices, a mediocre might even begin to do more of a lot of things in one day when he has that motivation. He just says, I think reading is good, I need to read. And then he will go somewhere, close himself inside the hotel and get one book and read the whole day. Then the next day, no more reading. But now there's this one now who says, I have to make it as part of my life every day. Let me do it, and you do it. So daily decisions will now will make a very will create a compound effect. When you make daily decisions, you can even complete almost around 24 books or 48 books in a month, because you are reading a chapter every day, 1 hour every day, let's say in the morning and in the evening. But somebody will just sacrifice only one day and go and read one. So choices shape destiny. Actually, we make decisions, we decide our destiny. So people every day make decisions, and then the decision will now decide. Mediocre will choose to settle on where they are. When you see them every day at the same place, it's not that they're not making decisions. They actually make decisions to renew where they are. Every day they keep renewing. Because when you say you have contract for 5 years, which you sign every year, it simply means that contract expires. But you make decision to choose to sign it every year. So those who choose every life, they make decision every time to stay in that place. And so, but those who are successful, they make daily decisions. Let me share myself and improve myself the more, so that I will go to be extraordinary, to go to be somebody who has that extraordinary life. Now, those who align themselves to luck, they always wait for that opportunity when that luck will come. They say that my turn will come, my turn will come. So your life will be on the probable chances. So you will be simply subjecting your life to probability that your chance will come. God is throwing a dice, and then when you are throwing it, it will be mine, isn't it? Then you go to Proverbs, and God says, "Put your plans in the hands of God, and they will succeed." He did not mention anything about planning for us. He simply said, put them, and then they will succeed, isn't it? So those who are at the mediocrity level, they simply always make choices. We keep them comfortable at that level, isn't it? And then once they decide, automatically decision will do the rest. Decisions have a lot of effect. Only decide, and decision will decide destiny, and the rest will go. Now at this level, now they will admire success. You really see that they see a prominent lawyer, they say, this man, I like that gentleman. It's very good. They simply love the output of success, but they will not really admire what this person has gone through. I engage with a lot of these accomplished professors. I really see what they have written, and I say, okay, this is what you have written. Then I choose to look at the road that they have been trekking, because that is what is important to me. It's not that they are highly known in the world. Being highly known in the world is not important to me, isn't it? It's just simply food that has been put in front of just in the dining, isn't it? But there is a lot more that happen in the kitchen. So I should be interested a lot in the kitchen. What mechanism took place there? How was this guy developing himself? Because there was this point when this professor was not known, but he was reading. He was publishing papers. No one knew him. But whatever he was doing every day now was compounding, isn't it? And Jesus said that I will come and I will reward everyone according to what he has done. That is the principle of justice. As you do something, the results of what you do will always reward you. So those who settle on mediocrity, when they see success, they admire, and that's when they bring a lot of luck in. This man is very lucky, very lucky. If I started, let's for instance, 2011, I started and I began to fail reading books, and I failed, and then 2013, I said, no, this failure should stop, isn't it? I read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and then I began to implement them. Read more books of this Dale Carnegie, those of Miles Monroe, J.C. Maxwell, and all those. Then if I read those ones for almost 10 years, then if I present something that is tangible because I decided to be in the kitchen, then you tell me I'm lucky? Is there luck in reading over 400 books? There's nothing like that. That's why I really believe in the luck. But what I understand in the context of how people bring in the luck, they bring in the context of other parameters which they don't understand. Then it is grouped up as luck. But there is always the reason as to why things work the way they work, isn't it? Even that magic works somewhere the way it works. There is even the divine power that works the way it works. There is always a reason behind things work that way. So, but choices now will determine destiny, and most importantly, I make a decision, and then the decision will decide the rest of the other things. Resilience over talent. Success, this successful journey of success is not a tarmac road. You know, there are some people when it is rough, they ask why is it rough? No, 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 that is not like that, isn't it? Yes. So if you think that there's no that level of resilience, you know, if you see what courage, if you see what hope, if you see what failure, all are friends of success. There is no success without all those. Why should you be hopeful? Why should there be hope if there are no challenges? Why should be the courage if there are no challenges? They are actually there because there are challenges on the way. And all those challenges on the way actually tell us, yes, you should develop this level of resilience, isn't it? Even the skin can develop that level of resilience. Have you not seen our brothers in our families? Those who are they are looking after cows, isn't it? And there are cases whereby much of their time they have spent in that, and they walk barefooted. You look at the same person will even step on thorns, but it will not be pricked as you because of that level of that tough skin that has been developed at the other side of at the feet of because of what you are doing. So on this journey we learn a lot of things. We learn what does not work, and even something we can work later, they are not actually working now, isn't it? Failure becomes as an indicator of things not working. And that's why if failure has been given names, that is where the problem is. Because human beings are subjective, isn't it? They choose what they like and they leave what they don't like. If you fail in if you get negative in if you get lost in business, isn't it? That is negative. They will say you have failed. But if you go in the hospital and get negative, they say it is okay, isn't it? Yes. Look at where is the difference here? Because meaning has been attached to names, isn't it? But if I choose to say this negative does not mean negative to me, this is not negative. This is an indicator telling me that my tools are not working the way they should be working. This one is telling me that I need more mentorship in finance. This one is actually telling me that I need to understand more about sales. I read that book about psychology of selling. I need to know more about sales. So when you look on this part of the journey, and you begin to attach meanings to some things, and then you will not develop resilience. But if you simply say no, what you call negative to me is not negative. These are actually lessons to me. They're actually sharpening my understanding. They are influencing the way I use my tools. They're actually telling me that I've not read enough books. I tried in after 5 years of reading. Then I tried again, again, again. Then after some time, I said, by the time I get international speakers and when they speak, and I begin to know the sources of knowledge they are using, then I will know that at least I'm somewhere. I read enough books until a point when I get somebody speaking, I would say, okay, this guy has read this book. When he speaks, I say he has read this book. And all that and all that and all that, isn't it? Yes. So, but in that process, there are a lot of challenges. So for you to develop resilience, it is not developed without challenges. It is developed amidst challenges. Because as you prepare on that training ground is actually a simulation of how life will be ahead. So that as you take hope as your friend, courage as your friend, and the rest of how you place positivity on failure now, then you develop resilience. That resilience now becomes more than the talent, because talent is simply a one-time thing. You will just get the output of that one, but as you trek that journey, you will every time be subject to a lot of things. So if you have talent without self-discipline or without discipline, that one will actually fade away, because discipline is even superior than motivation, isn't it? Discipline even tells me to wake up when I don't feel like, but discipline tells me please go and read, isn't it? It is not about the feeling, it is about the destination. But if it is only motivation, I'll just be lack of motivation anytime. But discipline will simply tells you it is not about motivation. It is about where you are going. That's why even Apostle Paul says, pray without ceasing, pray without stopping. Sometimes you feel you are so tired coming from workplace, but you have to do it because discipline tells you to do it, isn't it? And so when you have developed resilience now, you always consider talent. Yes, talent is very important, but when you develop resilience, it will be more meaningful, and even growth will be more considerable because along the way there are setbacks, isn't it? And those setbacks are highly will be highly addressed when you have developed that level of resilience. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you. That question actually exhaust, and I'll give the chance to look at shortly. And okay, you can remember that's on the screen. But in the chat here, many people are there. You can see Babri Dak, Gabriela Ken, Chol Mayura Lakir, Samira, Chol Samira. Everyone is echoing your words, and they are sharing their reflection on the thing you are saying, and especially around the question here, like what is it luck, is it talent, is it decision if I can make that make people live exceptionally or not. And no, get well to English that I want to say to my because there are some things to English that I've been be a to one young, not it feel jata got to table no. Mid a Roma, would out married neighbors, neighbors, they are dying because of that. Maybe well cooked chicken. People don't know, like, how it got there. I'll be jabbing what it, mid, yeah. And many people, and that is the livestock work, man, and I think it's exceptionally, living their life, man, in engineer. The way you talk, you can speak for 30 minutes and ideas keep flowing in your mind. And you can, if you are given 1 minute, ideas are talking before, then we continue. But now someone saw you can speak for 1 hour because you have read so many books, you have practiced your tool until where you are. Now you can even speak for whole day. And even and people just say, oh my God, he's so lucky or he's so gifted. But they don't, it's just like in the tala to table number what you mean, but there's so much that has gone to that in the kitchen. And even before Bella into the kitchen, Tirapuri, thin, be organic or
Yes.
like there's so much that has gone behind the scene to it. And that's where many people or many average people don't actually see. They just see the piano grab or and you want it by luck. And if you don't get it by luck, you can some people you go to pray. I know right now many people go to church to pray for luck. Look at you. Or you go to, I don't think you haven't mentioned anything about prayers, although you have anchored your your speech contact the Bible. There are some tools I can borrow from Bible that are guiding this conversation. But in Quran, Lord, but I long to get a luck because it's not something that you pray. It's all the thing that goes behind the scene, the effort, the network, all the things that you have done, the decision, everything else is all coming together. The opportunity, you have a town. And even opportunity, you have to also go in, take that opportunity because I never and if you don't take it, if you don't take an action to take it, and then you now put in effort to even sustain it, it actually work. So thank you so much for giving us that analogy of delicious meal. That there's so much that has gone to that, and if I want to be like you, engineer, now I don't need to just take because in jam appears ideas. I just say, okay, I will be you and go out to pray, Lord, no ideas. I'll have to know what book you can queen. How much effort. Yeah, you know, telling you to keep those. Because you can read book now, negative people can road cancel. I need to see when you're out in your life, your family, because if not, you couldn't pull out a long argument at home and so many things. So there's so many things that make you who you are to be impacting life. There's so many things that goes into that, and we should always keep that in mind. So, Auntie Kurma Jaware, look, I want to give you this opportunity to share your insight. What have you learned from this conversation? What else? Engineer you are, corporate or what else engineer shall we reflect with some ideas of in your life that happened, reflection that happened. And for those that are in comment section, please continue to share your reflection in the comment. We are learning from each other. I see Chol Duna Mol has shared something. Keep coming. Take it away, Luca.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Madam Akwal Philip, and also Engineer Thon Malek. By the way, today conversation is very important and is a live touching conversation. I'm really, really touched by all the points that Engineer Thon has explained here based on the average to exceptional and from the beginning up to now. What I can comment on it mostly, Engineer Thon, I used to say that why I came and met Engineer Thon lately when I did not met him before. Because what he is doing is seriously helping many people. One of them is me who is here. By the way, because when he touched about reading, this is one of the things that I just got in touch with it since I started in 2020 up to now. And the most part of it is the atomic habit that he has mentioned. I think Kwalding is the leader of the African community fort, which is for public speaking on online. And I have never met him face to face, but he has talked about that book. And what he has mentioned there is that in the atomic habit, you have there is a point that I think which is very important, and I have to tell you all those who always listen to me and always share with me here that if you want to do something, you want to do something as to let it become the habit for you, or to change the bad habit to into a good habit, you have to attach it with what you always do. Like the thing you do always, like taking shower is something common. Nobody can tell you to take shower, evening or the morning or even daytime. But if you know yourself that you don't you want to be somebody who love reading books, you try before you go and take shower, you connect your reading with the time you take shower. You read at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes, then you go and take shower now. And at the same time, if you are somebody who want to develop your muscle, or you want to do exercise and you don't feel like doing exercise every day, try to connect it with taking shower. Like, you before you go and take shower, you first go and do exercise for at least 10 or 15 minutes. By the way, Kwal has said this one, and I took it seriously. And now here, Engineer Thon is repeating it. When I also gone through that book, I have not yet finished that book. And he has also touched the power of your subconscious mindset. And in that book, when I started reading it in 2022, it has also helped me a lot. And Engineer Thon has also brought it here. For me, I think this conversation today is all about 100%. To me personally, I have picked a lot of in it. And to comment on the self-doubt, which he has also talked about it before I also put my reflection here. I think for you to get out of the self-doubt, there is a scenario I normally do to always stop people who might want to let me not do what I want to do. Basically, like for example, if you go to hospital and you found someone sleeping on the bed is very sick, that person is in a critical condition. What do you tell such a people? Do you tell the person that you are going to die very soon, or do you tell the person that you will recover from this sickness? If you tell the person that you will recover from this sickness, the person may remain on bed with the hope that in at the long run, even if he is not going to be free tomorrow or next tomorrow, at the end of the day he will be okay, because people are wishing him or her a better life or a better health. But if you go there and tell the person this sickness that I am seeing you with it may not take you like 3 days or even 4 days or even 2 days, after you left that patient, what you did to that patient, you have totally killed the person before he has even died, because you came and let the person lose hope. So I think this is one of the things that when someone is about to tell you something that which is very negative, Don't leave that person negative statement to enter into your brain, because mind, whatever affect you first affect your mind. Whatever affect you as individual in this world is something that affect your brain. So don't allow the person or the negative statement from anyone to enter your mind. What you do first, you ask the person the same scenario. Ask him or her that if you find a sick person on the bed, what do you tell them? Let the person know that one. Whatever you want to do, and someone come in and say, Luca or Thon or even a call, this one, if you do it, Allah, you will fail or you will not succeed from it. First of all, don't allow that person to have more influence on you. You can even find a way on how to ignore them, like what Engineer Thon said. If you cannot stop that person or you cannot stay away from them, you ignore them. That is another way for you to stop those people who may influence you to have a self-doubt, or who may instill, who may put in your mind negativities. One of the best examples that I can give, me as Luca, I don't like listening to people who say I cannot do this or I cannot do that. Why I say this? Because 2019, I was in third year public health at Upper University. And I really believe in Dr. Arif, our dean of the college. Is a very great man, and is a very creative person. That year he was teaching us environmental health, and then for him he has a trick. Whenever he is to set the test, he don't give simple question. He can give more than 30 or 40 just for 15 marks, and from there he's the one to decide which among questions that he has given from 1 up to 30, which one is having a lot of the mark. He's the one who knows. Then one day he tried to give us tests when giving us tests in environmental health. That test, the whole class failed it, including me, who has even got 17 out of 50. I failed that test, and the person who is coming after me was having only 7. So from there, I went to him in the office and said, Dr. Arif, by the way, you make a very complicated test, and always, whenever we are to sit for your test, it is always complicated. What is the reason? What is the logic that you are using? Now I see myself like I'm only the best student among all the people who have sat for your test. So Dr. Arif did not even congratulate me. He said, Luca, you have came up with a very, very good decision to reach me in my office. But I want to tell you one thing. Don't say that I am the best. This is not good. It will lead you to remain where you are. You will not progress. You try harder to at least do something to be extraordinary person, to be exceptional, to be among the people or to be among the students whom everyone want to go and listen to when you leave this campus. Then I asked him why. What is wrong with someone who said I'm the best? He said when you said I'm the best, you will remain there in that comfort zone, and you will not go extra mile. So I really believe when Thon also talk about that, and it has touched me a lot until when COVID-19 came in 2019 in December. We went for a holiday, but we did not join back again because we were supposed to go and join as post-year student. But due to COVID-19, everything has changed. So we spent almost 7 months down, and I was not having anything to do. So I got connected with some of the online businesses, network marketing businesses. And I talked to some of my friends that we want to join this business to try and do something, because we are not doing anything. We are just sitting, chatting in tea places or even at home. So one of them, told me, Luca, for you to go and join the business that people pay money first to be to be doing that one. Why do you want to waste your time? Who told you that South Sudanese can go and join that business with you later on? I told him no, not because of that, but because we are just sitting in the tea places talking nonsense and we are not gaining anything. But if you join network marketing business and try to share this opportunity with other people, they may also come and join us and we make money from it, because you are given a percentage when someone joins the company. They said no, most of them almost 7. So I took my own decision. In August 2020, I joined network marketing business. And Madam Okwal, as I'm speaking with you, from that business, I pushed until I graduated from Apanal University without asking anyone to help me or without even joining back one of the community school where I was teaching. And I also managed to sponsor my younger brother to finish his senior 4 level. And he was just sitting idly at home without anything. But that business has helped me. What if I have put that self-doubt in me or have put the negativities, I would have not made it to join that business. This is one of the things that I say this today conversation or today sharing is very important to me. When Engineer Thon explained all the things that he has explained, so this one also touched me, and it has pushed me to go to join a readership association. I now like to read all the books that I can get, and the time that I also get, I used to create time, even if at night when there is no power, I can open my phone and read for at least 20 to 30 minutes before I sleep. And this one also has helped me a lot. That's why you see me sometimes I have little differences with many people when we are to share ideas together. I usually have some differences when it comes to negative statement. When you say something negative to me or to someone close to me, I don't accept and I don't listen to you and I don't give you a chance even when you say something negative. And this one came in like it is something which I did not even think of it, and I did not got it in the school. In the school, since my primary up to secondary level, nobody talked to me that you have to read books to open your mind and learn more from there. You know, so this is very important. I really appreciate this one, and I really appreciate Engineer Thon for helping us every time. My message now that I want to add is when he was talking about the purpose in life. You must have a purpose, and this is very important. This is one of the things that also push you to be different from other people. You know, extraordinary people are the ordinary people who do extraordinary things that some people are not doing. Those are the people whom many people look up to. Like what you said before, many people may think that the Engineer Thon is lucky, but he's not lucky. He has started earlier and he has been doing it for over 15 years now, which means if he can speak for 1 hour or 2 hours, the ideas will still keep flowing in and he will still talk without losing podium, without even speaking things that are not important. You know, what made him to be like that? And it is because he has been doing it several times and he has not listened to the people who were even trying to stop him from becoming a motivational speaker because they were saying, do you want to be a politician? And this is not him alone. Even me myself, the time I tried to join Qualden in their group, I share this idea with many people whom we stay together. Then they told me, Luca, you want to join public speaking. Last time you said you want to pay money to be taught on how to become a good public speaker. Now you are joining online public speaking. What are you going to gain from there? Do you want to be a politician? Why do you want to waste your time? I told them, my brother, me, I don't want to join because of someone else or because to become a politician. But I want to join to learn something that I don't know. And it is very important because to know how to be a good public speaker, it doesn't want you to be a politician, or it does not mean that you will end up to become a politician. You can be a motivational speaker and you can make money from there. And you can also influence people from there, and people may know you because there is a difference between celebrities and a popular. There are some who are celebrities today in this country, but in the next 10 to 15 years, you may not heard of them. But somebody who is popular, like Engineer Thon now, I cannot forget him, even if I spend 30 to 40 years without talking to him again, because of the thing that he is always sharing with us here on the U10, you know. And this whereby I normally, whenever I get something that is aligned with the dream or with the thing that I want to have in my life, the thing that I want to achieve, I used to get myself in it. And I discipline myself. At least I have to do something so that I can be in that group. Even if I cannot manage to go there direct, and there is a way that I can manage to go, I can do it. Like I want to pay money to join public speaking here in Juba, and I did not have that enough money. They said they need like $300 for me to be in that to do that training. But since I got called, then is doing it online. and he's not he's not asking anything for you to be a part of that one. Why should I again sit back and say I cannot do it? I have to do it, although there are those who may say this is not good or what. I don't listen to them. Do the thing that you want, and you will be a better person, and you will prove to those who were saying that you cannot do this and you cannot do that. That is one of the things that I can also comment on it. And to end my point, the last one that I can also add, when he was talking about don't just allow people just to influence you or to make them to make everybody like happy. There are some people that want to, for example, what is in their mind if they cannot do it, so they want also to put that one into your mind. Don't accept it. And I got it from Robert Kisoki in Read That For That, in his book Read That For That. He was saying, if you don't have money, and he said, me, I cannot afford this, and I cannot afford this. Now you have closed up your mind. It is better for you to say, what? How can I afford this? How can I look for money? What can I do to get money? If you don't have money, what can you do to get money? That's what you can say, to open up your mind. And when you open up your mind, you will get ideas will come in, and there will be a way that you will get the tool that you can use to get money. This is very important, and I really appreciate Engineer Thon on exploring on that part. And to our members or also our viewers who have been listening today, I think they have got a lot of points from Engineer Thon. And me personally, I have really got a lot of points, and I'm very happy. I really appreciate Engineer Thon for this, and also Madam Makwal for giving me this chance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Look at what wonderful reflections you've just shared, and actually, echoing, using your own real life example, how you have applied the insight or tool engineers on share. So that is a living testimony for those that are watching, those who will watch this content, and those who are sharing their reflection. It's really good when people like align and share their perspective using real concrete example. Motivation. There's also this negativity. I'm motivational speaker will tell you to jump on this clip and that but motivational speakers say things that happen in real life, and look at just confirm that what motivational speakers is saying today, what our engineer is saying today, it's true. I applied it, it worked. So if motivational speaker, I think I didn't are realistic things with those people who have that mindset. So thank you so much. And also Francis Chagai also made a comment there too. Echoing that now you're answering it. Chakra, I don't discourage because he will kill them morally. But don't discourage them. Just like in Iran, you deathbed no, and you don't tell them actually you are gonna die because yes, but we have to be positive, we have to be encouraging, we have to be supportive, and that is really a powerful takeaway today. So, engineer, what we run out of time, but if you still have a few minutes, maybe you can share your final reflection and also answer this question. If someone is watching tonight and want to start their journey from being average to exceptional human being, what one practical, or it might not be what 1 to 3 practical steps or U-turn step they can take to start being on that journey. Actually, the journey to exceptionality, a tarmac road. So we all know that it's gonna be rough, but give us some 2 to 3 tools that will help those people who are thinking of embarking on that journey of being exceptional. Has your U-turn message?
Okay, thank you, U-turn family. Just on this, there's need for clarity. We'll need to define a very clear vision. Why do I exist? Who am I? What is my life purpose? And be clear on that. There's always something very good with clarity. Once you are clear about where you are going, now the rest will be simple because it will be about the tools now. What do I need to go there? What knowledge do I need? Which people do I need? So there's need to be very clear. So in your terms, what is your understanding of being exceptional? How do you define it? Yes. If you say, okay, I want to be a motivational speaker, at what level? How do you define it? Who will be your audience? Up to what level? Isn't it? Sometimes somebody will read this and that and that and that. So define clearly what is it in your terms. What do you define yourself to be exceptional? Isn't it? Then now, if anything that is clear now, you are closer to the solution. Because if the roadmap is clear, the rest will be about the tools and the rest. Then going as far as breaking the limit at a time, there are always limits which have been set. So you can break one limit, just identify one single part of your life that is looking like there's a comfort zone. Then you break that one. Then you succeed in breaking that. So that would also as well help. And then to be active with courage, you know. Once you take one bold step of action, action is very important. That's what makes the difference between mediocre and those who are exceptional. Those who are mediocres, every time is a sleeping time, because they keep on dreaming. Dream is very good, but when you wake up, you begin to work on the dreams now. Exceptional people, there are people who are they dreamt, but they woke up and now they are actually implementing the dream. But those who are settled on average, everything is in a dream. Every time they keep on dreaming, I want to be like this. I just want to be like this. Every time, when you should be putting tools together to take you where you are going. So momentum actually is considered to begin with bravery, not necessarily perfection. And that's why I'm against this system of that that excellence as a product. No, excellence is not a product. It's just excellence is a product. It's not a process. So I believe once you put something in the system, you can produce that good. When you have that good now, there are tools and there's a level of knowledge and the people and everything that can bring good. Then you can package that good again with some different level of skills now having mastered, and then you will be able to produce better, isn't it? So I consider this as a refinery. By the time you will have an excellence, it is not only the product which is excellent, it is the tools, it is the level of knowledge and everything that produces that is excellent. So at that level now, there is need to act with courage. Anytime you have produced some level of quality which is good, don't compare with somebody's. Just simply say, it is my tools, my knowledge, my mentorship, and the people around me that has brought this product. Then also upgrade the tools you have been using, the mentorship and the level of knowledge. Then at the next level, you'll be able to produce something which is better. So at that level now, you will be consistent, believing in yourself and mastering the tool and watching yourself progressing ever other time. As we wind out on this section here, the main difference between those who are mediocres and those who are exceptional, being a mediocre does not mean someone who's not working. No. There are mediocres in every field, in every level of leadership. There are mediocres. These are people who have settled on less than what God requires of them, isn't it? Even there are people now who are using gadgets at mediocrity level. People have high level phones, they only use them for TikTok only. So even items can be used at mediocre level, meaning that you are using 0.001% of the functions which are in there. So imagine a situation, imagine that God has blessed us there in his own image, giving us 100% functionality, but you begin to use 0.001%. That is mediocrity. Some, even in the world now, who are using 1% are considered to be very intelligent. Those who are using 1% of their brain, they are considered to be very intelligent. And now, just to know who's an average and who's exceptional. Some those who are average, they simply wait for opportunities. We have gone into this regional system, East African system. Some people are waiting for those opportunities. Average people, they wait for them. They only wake up when there's an interview. But those who are planning to be exceptional, they actually plan for those opportunities. Those who are going to come from East African community later as part of the integration, as part of the quota system, they begin to prepare. They don't know the job title, they don't, but they actually preparing. That's why I like this gentleman called Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, when the crowd was so big, he left crowd and he left Jesus and went and climbed the tree, because eventually Jesus will pass through that road. Those who are exceptional, they don't waste time. They begin to prepare for open opportunities which do not exist. Did I even know that one day I know there's somebody called Philip and the team will come out with U-turn? I don't know. What I simply know that it is very important to live a life purpose. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. About the audience, that's not my business. Audience will come. About the platforms are going to come. But at the level of mediocrity, they will simply wait for that, and later they will not get those opportunities. And just as making, there's something I call making excuses, making progress. Average people, they make excuses. In fact, they justify the reason why they have failed. They always they justify everything. Why they have failed, this situation is this and that and that. Because I said earlier on, there are two folders. If you open negativity, it will give you all the good reasons why you failed, including economic crisis is also there. But if you open positivity and just simply say, I'm a global citizen, isn't it? My skills can be used anywhere in the world. Let me acquire knowledge as much as I can, and let me see if market will be the problem, isn't it? So you'll find that if your knowledge is not consumed, you can't even take it cross the border.
Engineer to lose stop or in my screen.
Maybe network.
Network. Yeah, no, he was saying very good point about how can we work to localize in our own communities, in our own tribe. Now, can you happen in your own community? You are fair, where you can actually be used anywhere in the world, right? With access of technology, you can do in your looker that you had opportunity to do public speaking at Juba University, and it's very expensive. But now because of accessibility and internet, there's this online opportunity that does not require money. And here you are,
Yeah,
you took advantage of that.
yeah, sure. I think network is the problem. That's why even Scott, the engineer, was a very important message that he want to share. But this is
Yeah.
true. Many people are just waiting. Some are waiting to be appointed to be a community leader or to be a governor. Then they join public speaking so that they should go and talk to people. And that is not the way. That is something very bad. The engineer has
Exactly.
even said it. I think I tell even go na coi còn again job badri ko de ran le ko wi kan wi platform bên này jam ti ke kin engineer job before that ko chingi be bien ba ram ke coi U10 ko bi na invited ko ban ban give information when ke ngi ke ti bi pi job when so something very important again one of the things which is affecting many people here in South Sudan, especially now, especially youth of today. Most of them they don't want to to do things that will lead them to come closer to their dream. Some of them are waiting, and others are even complaining. That is something very bad. So engineer continue. Network
So
was the problem, I think.
thank you. As we conclude, making, justifying excuses has never been something that God has designed us to do. We were not made for simpler things. We were made to overcome even the challenges, isn't it? That's why a lot more solutions have been brought by humans because of problems. Human beings don't run away from solutions; they run away from where problems are, and that's when they discover solutions. So making progress, exceptional people make progress every now and then, and that is what actually makes difference. As we conclude, brothers and sisters here, God has given us that 100% functionality, and it requires us to deliver that level to humanity. And you and me, we have the capability, because we have the time, we have the mentorship, we can acquire the knowledge to be the best we can be. Because Paul says, as we said earlier on, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. All things include that which you want to do and that which I want to do. That is the meaning of all things. And to be exceptional is not necessarily defined in terms of how much money you have. Although whatever you do by value can attract the amount of money that you are in position to attract. But being exceptional means you have a purpose driven life, and that life of yours can impact others. Someone will be grateful that he lived, she lived, she's living, he's living. And once we have that, you and I will be grateful that we were given life that we have today. And God will be, as well be happy that every 24 hours that it deposits in our lives is deposited for a purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, engineer. Nothing else to add. I don't want to spoil that strong conclusion. Thank you, Luca, and thank you everyone for being part of this conversation. Engineers usually come to the U-turn every end of the month to give us motivation and inspiration to conclude the month, and also to give us opportunity to plan for next month. So this is strategically session to inspire us to reflect on how we have used our last month, June, and how we plan to be exceptional in July. So expect to see engineer by end of July to come and see what if what he said today actually set you up for success. We need to know. So this is really great. Thank you for always blessing us, for always encouraging us, and see you again by end of July, the last Saturday of July, engineer. And to everyone, kindly share this message. It might empower another person to dream and to think how to make change in their life. And we see you again next Saturday to spotlight other great minds that are building the U10 family. Thank you all. Thank you, my favorite people. Bye bye.
Thank you.
As we come to the end of this conversation, I just want to take a moment to remind you that the growth doesn't happen without taking a new direction. So if there is a message that has given you some clarity, some courage, or even a little bit of push towards the positive direction, I want you to take that with you, sit with it, go offline with it, and encourage you to continue to invest in your personal growth, and say thank you for taking the time to be here for yourself and for the community, for the growth of the community. The U-Turn is not just a show. It's a community where real talk, real growth, and real U-Turn happens. So until next time, stay empowered, stay intentional, and never be afraid to make a U-Turn. Thanks. Bye.